Hi, I'm Phyllis Eugenio. Welcome to this week's edition of Jack Talk. I'm here with the Vice President of the Sustainability Club at SFA. Hi, Zeb. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Phyllis.
So I'm just going to start off right into it. What is the Sustainability Club?
Well, the Sustainability Club is a group of people or a group of students exactly, where we all had an idea of having a more green campus and getting more green initiatives going on campus so we could have it the way that we wanted it. It's basically students getting together and working towards getting a standard that SFA would be a green school.
What are some of those green things you're talking about, like recycling or?
We haven't really focused on what exactly. We're just focusing on the standard.
Okay.
So our group is pushing for policy. So
Okay.
what we do is we get everyone together, like students and different organizations, and have everybody collaborate and get to the point where we want to have this sustainable policy in SFA, and everyone seems to just really like it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's been
So
a good turnout.
what exactly does sustainability mean?
It's hard to actually define sustainability because it encompasses so many different fields. Like, the way I like to think of sustainability is three different things that it does to do this. So when you have economics, and when you have environmental issues, and when you have social issues.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put all three of these together and you're thinking like, okay, I want to plan for economic, social, and environmental issues, then you have sustainability.
Okay.
So in a general sense, that's what sustainability is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I remember last semester you guys put on something called Sustainability Week, and I signed a petition for a sustainable policy here at SFA. Can you go more into detail about what that is?
Yeah. Sustainable policy is again the standard. So
Mm-hmm.
when we're doing Sustainability Week, we're out there with our tents and everything, and had posters and all kinds of different events that were going on, like the Eco2Go boxes and everything of sorts. But one in particular was we were spreading awareness. So no one really knows what sustainability is. It's a pretty new term. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to define. It's new. It's very difficult. Mm-hmm. So what we were out there doing was getting signatures for people that were interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you signed your name, you're like, okay, yes, I want to see a standard, a policy that SFA would use to make sure that we have green initiatives and green things going on campus. So we actually saw a lot of people actually signed it, and it was really impressive. We had, I think, over 300 signatures within maybe 2 hours. So
Wow.
I mean, it's really nice because you actually see students wanting these green things
definitely.
versus older times when you didn't see those as
Like
much.
a bunch of, like the new generation
Yeah, the new
wants,
generation of students
like
seem to be interested in
recycling
it.
and everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens if this becomes a policy at SFA?
You would see that standard go in, so we'd be able to do more green things, like programs could be set in place under this policy, and we'd have a standard we'd go by. So we'd be thinking, okay, I'm going to conserve this, I'm going to reuse this, I'm going to be acting this way so we don't harm the environment and our economics boost, and we have a happier community.
All right. So besides this policy, what are some of the other events the Sustainability Club puts on?
Oh man, we're involved in a lot of things. We do just about everything. I mean, we put on movies like Chasing Ice with the Baptist Church there. And then coming up actually is Earth Month.
Oh.
And then the 21st is Earth Day, in which we'll have a bunch of festivities and everything going on with that, like live bands and.
So tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be doing with Earth Month.
Earth Month is big. It's a lot. It's fun. All sorts of organizations are doing it. It's just not us that are putting it on. But us, we're getting bands together and we're having speeches and talks and everyone to help really spread awareness and get everyone out and kind of see who's really interested in it. And if you are, then great, and come. And if you don't know much about it, come get educated, and everything else. We'll be happy to talk to anybody.
So earlier you mentioned other organizations helping you guys out. What are some of those organizations, and how do they help you guys?
Well, the coalition that is actually all the organizations is Sustainable Advocacy Coalition. And there's something like 33 different organizations that have been pushing for the sustainable policy, and we all get together and collaborate and have different ideas and kind of throw around and see what's going to work and see how SFA really wants to do their green initiatives and green planning, and it's really amazing.
So are you involved with the SFA Dining in the Dark? I've heard that's something they put on. Do you back that, or?
Oh yeah, completely. We have an intern from Penn State that's really been big into the Eco2Go boxes. And this is relatively new. I don't think too many people actually know about the Eco2Go boxes, but they're an optional thing now, to where you can go and get these boxes and take it, eat your meal, and then bring it back, and they give you a new one and wash it and everything. And it saves so much on styrofoam, so like you don't fill up landfills with all the styrofoam. And it's a very good idea that has been the most recent big change that we've been able to accomplish.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's all the time we have, and thank you for Zeb for coming in. Up next, we have Hector talking with Beatrice Morales and Jennifer Dotson, who are advocates of CASA. So, thank you.
Welcome back to Jack Talk. I'm Hector Sanchez, and today I'm here with Beatrice Morales and Jennifer Dotson from CASA of Deep East, Texas. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
So, Jennifer, can you tell us more about the CASA program?
Yes, it stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate, and really when I first learned about it about 2 years ago, and I kept hearing about CASA. I didn't understand what it was at all, and how I could be of any help. But what it is you advocate for a child who's been taken from their home, usually by CPS, and they're in the court system. So you go through a training in order to prepare you for it. So and you also get to choose the case that you take. And so it took a while for me to figure out what I was really going to do until I got into the training, which you spend about a week and a half going through the training, and then at the end you're sworn in at the courthouse, and you get to choose a case, and you can choose a very simple one or a more complicated one.
And Beatrice, what is a CASA volunteer?
Well, you're advocating for your child. You go visit the child. We're required to go once a month. You can go more often, but you're the only person that really sees that child, because the judge, he's busy. The lawyer that gets appointed to the child doesn't really go see the child. So we're really checking if they're okay, if they need anything, whether it's for school or general for their needs.
And I actually have a story here of a girl that was a CASA member, and she is now working for her bachelor in Houston. So here's her story. Jennifer, can you tell us about your CASA kids?
Okay. Well, my case is a sibling group. Because of confidentiality, we're not supposed to mention even their sex or their ages. Mine were preschool and are now elementary. The case has been going on a couple of years, and it's actually winding down. This is my very first case. I became a CASA. It'll be 2 years ago in May, and the children had been taken from their parents because of sexual abuse, particularly with one of the children, and of course the father was arrested, and as time went on, it became clear that the mother was not going to be able to she didn't show that she was going to be able to protect them even in the future, and so we began searching for another home for them, and that's really what it's about, is helping the children find a forever home. And so I was able to locate interested family who wanted the children, and you work with CPS, and you have contact with different members of the family. You visit the children in foster care, kind of find out what they want, and anyway, I think it's going to happen in April. They're going to be adopted by a family member. So it's turned out well. It's taken a little while, and one of the things that the case has gone through phases where I was really busy with it, going to visitation at CPS, going to visit the kids in foster care, and now that they've been placed with this family member who's going to adopt them, I go once every 3 months because they live about 3 hours away. So it's turning out to have a really good ending.
Beatrice, can you tell us about your kid?
Well, my kid was removed from their home because of sexual abuse. And I got the case actually about a year and a half ago. So the case was kind of like ending. My kid is a teenager, so they trying to say this without exposing the child's sexual. But anyways, I was able to help the child move from her placement into an apartment and get the child situated to adulthood. And here recently, she did leave the CASA program, but I'm excited for her future.
It's amazing. Jennifer, tell us about what qualifications you need in order to be a CASA volunteer.
Well, they do a background check on you, and I think you need to be able to write a court report because you do that about 10 days before there's a hearing. You write a report, and you do have to go before the judge and speak. So it's very minimal. The main thing that it requires is your time. It costs you nothing. It's totally volunteer. We don't get paid. It's really a way for us to really use our abilities to help children. And you're a voice for them, is really what it is, because of course, they have a CPS worker, but you go and visit them independent of CPS, and you research and basically find out what their needs are, and whether the judge will listen to the CASA workers. If they think that, if they recommend that they go back to their parents, he listens to that. If you think that they need to be another place, he'll listen to you, because you're really not biased at all. You're just looking out for the best interests of the child.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming to the show and for everything you have done for CASA of DB's Texas. They're just something that I really look up to y'all for doing something so wonderful like that. Coming up next, we are talking to Derek Sider, the co-chair of and co-chair of Red Dirt Nacogdoches Mud Run. Stay tuned.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Jamie Portillo. I'm here with Derek Snyder and Wes Jensen from Red Dirt Nacogdoches Mud Run. How are y'all doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Good, good. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for
Certainly.
having us.
Yeah, well, let me jump to it. What is the Red Dirt Mud Run for those of us who don't know?
That's a 5K obstacle course full of mud that you just come out and have a great time and challenge yourself. That's what it is.
What does the run consist of?
There is, 20 obstacles? We've got high walls, we've got mud to crawl through, we've got hay bales to crawl over, a slip and slide. There's so many I can't even think of it. But you basically run about 100 yards and you're hitting another obstacle. So
Wow.
and there's no way to get through it without getting a little bit muddy.
Yeah. So if anyone wanted to just sign up, could someone sign up or do you recommend training before?
They can just sign up. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
It
We
seems
recommend
pretty
some
hard.
training, but you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all
Look, if you're as out of shape as we are, maybe not, but sure.
Yeah. I mean,
you
it's
can sign
on
up.
your own risk, right? Well, what's the main reason of this 5K run?
It's one of our major fundraisers for Natchitoches JCs. We are an organization here in town that we give back to the local city and county. Our main purpose would be like giving back to children, CASA Kids. We give back to one of our major events that we have is at Christmas time. We buy Christmas presents for kids. And this is one of those fundraisers that rolls down so we have money to give and give back to the community.
Oh, okay. So I have a question. Have you guys ever done the 5K the mud run? Sorry.
Oh yeah, did it last year. It was a blast. I had a team of about 5 people that we all did it together, and it worked out great because you can help each other over the 12-foot wall if you want to do that one,
Yeah.
or you can just hop over the 4-foot wall. But it was, it was a good time.
Have you ever
I did. I worked the event, and I didn't run during the event, but I did the day after. I lost my shoes quite a few times. I recommend duct tape.
Yeah. Duct tape on the shoes.
Exactly.
That's perfect. So what? How many people have signed up so far?
I think we're right about 300 right now,
Okay.
which is about half of what we had last year, but we're still about 25% above where we were at this time last
okay.
year. So
When do
we're
signups
doing good.
end?
Day of.
The day of? Okay. And what's the day of the run?
Day of is April 12th. Starts at 8 a.m. Goes every 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then we recommend the youth heat at 10 and 11 a.m. And our last heat is 11:40 a.m. So we're running up till noon. Be a good time.
Yeah.
Right now, the price of it is $40, and in about 7 days, it goes up to $45.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned youth. So is it any age can participate, or does it have to be?
Yeah, within reason. We
Okay.
leave that up to the parents.
Okay.
I believe at their discretion.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we
if
had
the-
several parents with kids running last year, and the parents ran with them. But little 5-year-olds
Yeah.
up to 8, 9-year-olds, and they fly through that mud faster than we can. So
Yeah, they're more energy than us.
Right.
Where is this is Mud Run a seasonal event, or do you guys do this every so often?
This is our second annual.
Okay.
So it was brand new to us last year, and it went very well. So we hope to keep it as an annual event during this time.
How much money did you guys raise last year?
On the event after
just that event, was it 8?
probably about 8 or 9
Yeah.
after expenses.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty good. That's good.
So it gave us a good boost for
Yeah.
the rest of our events.
it's in the ballpark anyway.
That's a
Yeah,
Are you guys expecting to raise more money this year? Or?
yeah.
Yeah.
Always
Like you
look to
said, we're
improve.
about 25% ahead of registrations already. With any event, everybody, or at least over half of them, will register as the closer it gets. So, we had 612 last year. We'll probably end up around 700 plus this year, which would be
That's
nice.
good. How long does the preparation for the Mud Run take? Estimate.
We've been working on things since just after Christmas.
Wow.
Whether it's going out and clearing the trail or just marketing pieces, whether it's digital or mail, or these flyers, for instance, that you may see around businesses in town.
Yeah. Do you guys want to hold up the flyer real quick?
Sure.
So.
I'll hold
You
up the
can do
big one so
big
you can
one.
see it.
Yeah.
So tells you all the information. We've got a QR code so you can register directly at active.com. You can find us on our Facebook page, and kind of tells you where it is and when we're doing it here. So if you have any other information that you need or you like, we can always answer that. Just message us on Facebook.
Yeah. And how long does the mud run usually take? Do you guys have an estimate or?
Anywhere between 40 minutes
Yeah.
and an hour and a half, maybe. Depends on how slow they
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
So-
fastest time that anyone's ever?
Last year, was it 38?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what they said anyway.
Clayton and Brian, were they racing each other?
Yeah.
38,
Yeah. Wow. And how is the preparation for the mud run with the mud and just kind of hosing it down and?
Well,
the
luckily
obstacle
this year
courses
we've
and
had
stuff?
plenty of rain, so there's
Yeah.
no problem with mud. That doesn't seem to be an issue. We'll go out the weekend before and take all our four-wheelers and ATVs out and really turn it up and get it nice and soupy and muddy. And that's kind of the final preparation on the trail itself. And,
Where? Sorry.
where it is? It's
Yeah,
out at
yeah.
the,
Where is the mud run?
the old horse track, which is behind the
The Expo Center.
Expo Center. Yes.
Hmm.
How? And like I said, anyone can sign up for the registration.
Mhm.
Do we just go on Facebook and message you guys, or?
You would go. You can do that. We would direct you to active.com
Mhm.
and just search the Red Dirt Mud Run,
Okay.
and it should come up for this year. You may see last year's event also, but this year should come up, and register there. You can do a team, and we recommend a team because it's a lot more fun to run with
Yeah.
a group.
Yeah. I've seen videos, and it's crazy. You know,
Yeah.
people just
They had a lot of fun.
That's perfect. Well, do you guys have any other facts you guys want to tell us about the mud run dirt? The mud. It's a tongue twister.
Red Dirt
Red Dirt
Mud
Mud
Run.
Run.
Yeah, just something that to tell the audience why they should sign up.
It's just a lot of fun. You know, other than, like you said, pulling in a group of people, going out together and tackling a tough course. We had some people last year that are like, I can't believe I did this, and they had a blast. I mean, you know, they'd show up and not necessarily in shape, but they conquered it and were really happy and impressed with themselves that they got something done, so they pat themselves on the back.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want more information about the mud run, visit www.reddirtmudrun.com. Join us for next week for another edition of Jack Talk.